Hi, today we'll make a flan. It's one of my favorite desserts. All the ingredients are at the end and in the description of the video. Let's start by the crust. With the tips of our fingers, we mix the 250 grams of flour with the 125 grams of butter until both become like sand. We don't need. We just press and mix and destroy the little chunks of butter. After, we add the 125 grams of icing sugar and we mix rapidly again. After that, in another bowl, we need 1 egg yolk. We add to it 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I also add a half teaspoon of ground nutmeg, not more, because its taste is powerful. Or you can add other spices too, naturally. After, 2 pinches of salt. I water down my mixture a little bit and I mix it. After that, I dig a well in my flour and pour the eggy mixture in it. Always without kneading, I mix the liquid and the dry ingredients like that. When I feel the dough become too dry, I add some water. The dough should be not too sticky but not too dry or too brittle. You should be able to make a soft ball with the dough. When the dough seems enough soft, with the palm of my hand, I strongly squash it in order to incorporate all the surviving chunks of butter. After, I make a ball that I flatten a little and wrap it. I let my dough stay in the fridge for some hours. After that, I roll it out. I cut it into pieces, one for the bottom and one for the borders of the flan circle. We will see it soon. So, I roll out the half for the bottom. When it's enough thin, I just press the circle on it and remove the excess. That is a flan circle. We can see the edge is a little sharp, so if the dough becomes too soft because of the room temperature, for example, it will tear. If you use a more traditional dish like this one, cut your crust there before the rim, because all of the excess dough will probably burn, maybe because of the sugar in it and the long cooking time for the flan. Now I will roll out the dough for the borders of my flan. I try to make some long rectangles. Now I put the dough on the borders of my circle. That was painful because my dough was way too soft and warm. The flaws. With our thumbs we correct all the flaws. We press a little at the junction of the border and the bottom and we cut the excess. Now let's talk about vanilla. For flavor our flan, we have 2 choices. First, use 2 vanilla beans from Madagascar, the most common one, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Or we can use only 2 or 3 tablespoons of vanilla extract. I know vanilla beans can be quite expensive, so for the video I will use only vanilla extract. We need 3 eggs that we whisk a little. We also need 160 grams of sugar for the custard. We pour only the half of it in the eggs and whisk again. We add the facultative 2 pinches of salt. In another bowl, we got 50 grams of cornstarch. We will need 450 milliliters of milk later. We pour maybe 100 milliliters of this milk in the cornstarch because we don't want lumps, and we mix it until that becomes completely liquid. We add that milky cornstarch to our eggs and homogenize the mixture. After that, we pour the rest of our milk in a pan and about 300 milliliters of heavy cream. Now we add 2 or 3 tablespoons of vanilla extract according to our taste and the rest of the sugar. We bring it to simmering. We must stir frequently if we don't want the milk burn in the pan. After that, in our eggy mixture, we will pour slowly and in several times the hot milk. We whisk the eggy and starchy mixture in the same time because we don't want lumps in our custard again. After that, we pour again the eggy mixture in the pan and at low heat, like 2 or 3 on 10 on my stove, I cook my custard and I whisk all the time until the custard become quite thick. Whisk is important because the custard could burn in the pan. You will feel the thickness after some minutes. The low heat is very important too. With high heat, the custard will become very thick in some seconds, yes, but with a lot of lumps in it. And again, we don't really want that. So we pour it in another bowl, always because I don't want that the custard burn in the hot pan. When my oven is hot, I pour my custard in my raw crust. I equalize the top and put my flan in the oven at 350 Fahrenheit or 180 Celsius degree for about 1 hour until the top become a little black or golden brown. After about 1 hour and a quarter, because I wanted this beautiful black color, I even put my flan at low broil for some minutes. Now we have to let the flan stay in the fridge overnight. And after that we can eat it. I know there are a lot of steps, but it's not that hard to make, honestly. I hope you will try this dessert. Thanks et à la prochaine.